Fitin10 Nation, it is day 24 of the Fitin10 challenge, and we got one more day left of scans. A lot of you are doing good. We've had so far, I want to say we've had 15 people actually destroy their mini goal, their first mini goal. Fat loss mini goal, that is. Muscle gain I'll get to in a second. So kudos to those people. I know some of you are struggling with the cardio and or the food. This is normal. The cardio should be something that's not too hard for you to do. It's just simply finding the time and just getting out and doing it. So if you're not getting it done, my suggestion is doing it 3 times per week, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, you're going to have the highest level of motivation. And what you might find is once you start doing it in the morning, it might become addictive because it kind of sets the pace for the day. All right, so try to do your cardio first thing in the morning if you're not getting it done. Another good time to do it is immediately after doing a workout. Okay. Food-wise, for those of you struggling with your protein, I'm going to really push you on trying to increase your protein. Set a standard for the week. That is, so set a daily standard and then try to complete that for a week. So let's just say, you're supposed to get 150 grams per day and you're currently getting 100. Say, okay, listen, the next 7 days in a row, I'm going to try to get 110 grams. Okay, and then really, really push for that. But more so what I suspect is you're trying to wing the challenge. That is, you're kind of eating. You're trying to eat sensibly. I'm not saying you're not paying attention to that, but and then you're just realizing at the end of the day, oh my God, I got to eat all this food. There's no planning involved, right? So you got to do some planning in this. All right. I want you to learn when you finish. I want you to learn so that when you come out of the challenge, you have a better understanding of what to do. Okay. And how food can really affect you. Protein every meal, okay? For those of you struggling first thing in the morning to eat, have a source of protein, have a liquid source of protein first thing in the morning, all right? I'm always gonna stress real food, but sometimes a protein shake is the best way to go. All right, food of the day. I haven't done one of these in a few days, so I better get to it. This is actually pretty good. This is Costco wild salmon, so it's wild, I like that. Pink salmon, so it's actually fairly lean, in fact. This is in the frozen section. The only downfall is it's packed in these individual, plastic packages. So it's extra plastic, which is, supposedly not good for the environment. So, maybe not the best choice in terms of sustainability. But nonetheless a good price, and it is wild. Okay, so salmon's obviously a good source of protein. It's really high in B vitamins, which is really important for energy production in the body. If you don't get enough B vitamins, you will feel tired. You will feel like you don't have energy. So make sure you get enough B vitamins. It's very high in selenium as well, which is really important for bone health and thyroid health as well. It's also a very powerful antioxidant. What else can we say about this? It's high in omega-3, okay? Omega-3 fatty acids. So these are essential fatty acids that we need that help. We've seen in actually cultures that eat a lot more omega-3s in their diet that they seem to have more actual brain matter. In fact, it's theorized that when our brains grew. Some time ago, we became much more intelligent. It was because we started eating sea life. But who knows whether that's true or not. All right. But the thought is omega-3s, specifically speaking. All right. So really important in brain function and cognitive function. Omega-3s also are very good for helping to reduce blood pressure. Helping you to become more insulin sensitive, so this is good if you're borderline type 2 diabetic. It's been shown to reduce inflammation. The list goes on and on and on and on. really has an important role in the membrane function of every cell in your body, okay? There's more I can say, but I don't want to bore you, and I'm already at 5 minutes. All right. Let's talk about something else. Okay. This is something that, listen, this is the first time I did the challenge, and I set up a second goal, which is muscle gain. Now, your muscle gain can fluctuate. Your muscle reading can fluctuate. And this is because, I give the analogy of a gas tank, but I'm going to give the analogy of a balloon, okay? So you have a balloon that's full of air, all right? So let's consider the air as glycogen. Now, glycogen is the way muscles can store energy. So particularly when you eat carbohydrates, your muscles are a great storage facility for that. So, the more muscle mass you have, the better capability you have to help manage blood sugar levels. All right, so it's another benefit of having muscle. But the way the body stores that sugar is in the form of glycogen. So you may have heard like endurance runners carb loading before their race. So they have lots of glycogen, lots of energy stored in the muscles to help them facilitate, the long duration of the race. So what can happen is for every gram of glycogen that goes to the muscle, you get about 3 grams of water. So there's a lot of water being stored in the muscle. And a machine that reads muscle mass has no way of determining what is water and what is actually tissue when it looks at the muscle. If you have a well-hydrated muscle and you just cut it out of a person, you put it on the table, it's going to be that hydrated muscle. It's not like water's going to pour out of it. It's kind of like within the muscle, it just looks like muscle. But it doesn't actually make up the tissue. So a machine cannot differentiate that. So your glycogen levels can go up and down. So this is why I don't have you, for example, drink caffeine or drink alcohol or, other things that can affect your glycogen levels, like exercise. Well, exercise we can't really do too much about because, ideally you wouldn't exercise for 3 days before your scan, but that's just not gonna happen. So we want to keep things as, as tight as possible. The biggest things that affect the scan are things like alcohol and caffeine, okay, or any other diuretic. I have a client actually in this challenge who's taking prescription diuretic for blood pressure, and of course, we discover this during her scan, and so this will affect your scan. This will make you look, if you're dehydrated, you will look more fat, okay? So there you go. All right. Way more that I wanted to say today, but I'm going to get to the message of the day instead. And the message of the day was, well, I was going to talk about some other stuff that led up to this. So anyways, these videos don't always work out. There are many things in your life that you need there are many things in your life that you believe you need that you do not need. Okay? Like alcohol. All right? And listen, I don't mean to pick on alcohol. Maybe it's easier for me to pick on it because I don't like the taste of alcohol, so I don't really drink. Although I do have the odd drink at like a party or something like that, just to fit in or whatever. But to be more social, and I will admit, it does loosen me up to some degree. As I guess it does for everybody. But the reason I don't like alcohol, well, there's several reasons, but the one reason I don't is because it's an outlet for people. All right, so I want you to really seriously consider the things that you think you need in your life that maybe you don't and aren't good for you, all right? And again, having alcohol every now and then I don't think is a big deal. But, from a fat burning standpoint, it's like the worst thing you can do because it toxifies the liver, and the liver is basically the engine for fat burning. The other thing, like I said, is probably even more important here is the fact that it's an outlet for people. And so people rely on it as a stress release, right? So we want to try to look for things that are stress releases that are good for us, right? And alcohol certainly isn't one of those things. All right, so just keep that in mind. The other thing I want to mention too is the hedonistic aspect of food, right? Like we always want to enjoy food. Every time we eat, we want to enjoy it. But really, that's not what eating was meant to be, really, right? And don't get me wrong, I enjoy the taste of food. Believe me, every time I eat, I will eat something that I like to eat. But it's within the context of fuel. So I'll figure out the fuels that I need and then choose the foods that I like. All right? But we can't just always look at food as something where we have to just completely always enjoy it, like, to the max. It was never meant to be a hedonistic thing. It was meant to be a survival thing. All right, so just keep that in mind. 10 minutes in. These videos are meant to get shorter. I'm working on it. All right, submit, commit to this challenge. Do everything you have to do. Look for ways to improve. If you're not getting all your pillars in, how can you make the changes to make it happen? Okay, even if you're not getting, so if you're getting in 2 cardios per week, you know, or let's say you're getting in 1 cardio per week, what can you do to get to that second one, okay? But you know, like, I think I'm padding up this thing a little bit too much. You can do 3 hours of, 3 half-an-hour sessions of cardio per week. That is less than 1.5% of your week. Okay, you can put it in. Just find the time and do it. Make time, okay? I shouldn't say find the time, I should make time, all right? Submit, commit, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, give some gratitude if you feel like you're unlucky or you feel like you're feeling sorry for yourself. Give some gratitude. There's no reason for you to feel sorry for yourself. There's no reason for you to not believe in yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Day 24 in the books. Over 1/3 through this challenge. Let's keep going, keep it up. And for those who really want to succeed, or the people that do succeed, or the people that don't give up. It's not necessarily people who are perfect. It's not the people that do really well initially right away. It's the people that don't give up. All right, so remember that. Talk to y'all soon. See ya.